need to teach Kaylee.
We need to what?
Teach Kaylee how to upload them.
Oh yeah, she's out for like 2.5 weeks. So, well, I guess a week and 2 weeks now. It says we're live. Did I forget to make another? Just now thinking. Okay, it's like maybe I forgot again.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good
Deb.
morning.
Debbie, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I was like, oh my gosh, don't tell me I missed where they said they're not going to meet today. I need to connect with real humans.
Connect with real humans.
And then you popped up and were like, yes.
That's funny. I did not create a link again. I am putting that on my calendar to do the new ones.
Oh no. The events are so hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
Like the way that they like either go out for like 26 weeks or they like stop randomly. It feels like.
Yep.
I've noticed a lot of things do that on Facebook, right? Like at
Yeah.
one point in time, I could pre-do like 3 weeks, and now you can only do like 3 or 4 days, and it's like, what?
Okay, it's not even letting me create one now. Let's see, Danny said I'm having power issues, so I'm trying to watch from my phone, but it's in and out and not reliable today. That's no good.
Hmm. Got a cranky buddy in that.
Oh,
So we were just gonna talk about today. I don't know if more people are listening live yet. Different ways to grow your bookkeeping business going into 2023. But before we get to that, I'm curious, Debbie, have you tried any of our other marketing ideas for you that we've talked about?
Yes, I actually have. It's really weird because it's like traction, I'm getting traction and interaction, but it's very slow. It's more about the consistency part, right?
Yeah.
Consistently showing up, consistently saying the same things. So it's very slow, but I am getting, when the lender lady referred me to a gentleman, I was blown away because I just seen her 2 weeks ago and she gave me a great big hug and blah, blah, blah. But it's more about the consistency. So I just got to find a couple things that have the best reaction, right?
Yeah.
Instead of
Yeah.
spinning my wheels like I'm in a mud bog.
Well, yeah, so I would come up with a plan, what has worked, because those conversations still help. But yeah, we don't want to try to do 100 things. That's where that 80-20 rule where 20% of the effort is going to bring 80% of the results, and we need to
Right.
identify what is that effort. But with Facebook, if Facebook is where they're at and they're communicating with you at, That's like
No.
getting a freight train going. Or in network marketing, you have to get a freight train moving, and that's where your
Right.
flow results.
Right.
And then once it's going, we have to keep feeding it cold.
Well, I get that part. It's just that, like, I have had absolutely zero interaction with Facebook.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, why am I stressing and spending so much time for nothing, right?
I
And I
agree
think-
with you, Debbie.
Well, I think
Pardon
that's,
me?
she says she agrees with you. I think that's the biggest thing,
Okay.
to realize that. Like just because Facebook worked for me or somebody else doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be y'all's way to market. Like Sherry's done a lot of her stuff on Upwork, and then now doing some in-person stuff. So I mean, like you definitely have to try different things. And when I first started my business, I tried anything and everything I could to market my business, and then saw that, hey, Facebook is what was working for me. So I think that's important to realize that, and like, okay, that doesn't mean you have to totally stop posting. I mean, keep posting, but don't make it your top priority. Like figure out what else can you do marketing wise? Like what else have you tried that you've been successful with, or what else can you try that you haven't tried yet?
And that's kind of where I'm at, but it's funny you should say that, because I've actually had more interaction with, and I have completely stopped putting anything on Facebook, and I've had more interaction.
So targeted effort, and right, so you've had more interaction with the networking or more interaction on Facebook?
I have had zero interaction for over a year now with Facebook. As soon as I stopped putting anything out there, I have started getting a lot more interaction with in person.
Yeah, that's fair. Real quick, just for clarification, have you been during that year? How many business owners were you adding to your page a day?
I mean, granted, it wasn't many. It was like 5 or 6 a day, but I would interact with them and, just like Megan would say, make a truthful comment about their post, or, hope you have a great day, or that's beautiful, blah, blah, blah. It's been,
Yeah, that's totally fair.
it's been genuine interaction, just not just like a heart or whatever.
Yeah. I would say if someone is looking at doing Facebook, we want to get it up to 20 to 150 a day. And there's some specific things you could do to get it up to that many without being marked as spam. But you would start at 20 a day every day.
And see, to me, that's extremely stressful.
Right. So I think the stress and the frustration surrounding Facebook is why you're getting more traction off of Facebook. But that's
Okay.
actually, so we were going to talk about different ways to grow your business in 2023 today. And
Awesome.
that's not about Facebook, right? So I just wanted to see if you had tried, we had talked about going to
We're
and
getting some feedback.
trying to like home service providers or contractors and things like that. And I didn't know if you'd done that or gone to Ace Hardware or things like that. But all good. Gwen or Jen, have you guys tried anything outside of Facebook for marketing?
Yeah, I mean, I've done other social media like Instagram. I have a LinkedIn, but I don't really use it that often. I started to just try and do some LinkedIn. I do a lot of in-person networking. I'm a part of like 3 different networking groups in my area, and I also visit and sub in other networking groups. So I've actually gotten more, like the clients I do have are from my Instagram and my LinkedIn and not through networking yet. But there's a lot of building trust there and that takes a little bit more time. So I'm starting to get referrals there from meeting like a million people over the last couple months. But yeah, I had joined a big marketing thing, but I had to back out of it because it was too overwhelming. So
Gotcha. Jen and Debbie, you guys are both doing networking. Are you guys adding the people you connect with to an email list or newsletter that's going out regularly?
no, I haven't done any like email marketing. The only email I've really done is I found CPAs in my BNI app and reached out to some of those, and I got a couple hits off of that, and I might be doing a partnership with somebody in that. But I feel like, well, I mean, not that I wouldn't do like newsletter type stuff, but like email marketing to me is a huge waste of time. Like I don't
Well,
want
I'm
to,
not even talking about cold emailing.
yeah.
You have warm emails where you can just follow up. So I'm really talking about follow up.
Okay.
Follow up.
Yeah, I don't have a good process for that right now. So I don't know if we can talk about that maybe, because I have a lot of moving pieces and I don't have a good process I have sort of like an Excel sheet that I started to put like people's emails in, but I don't really have anything that's like automated and I don't really keep up with that. So I don't really know if you have any advice on how to do that.
It doesn't have to be automated. I'm testing out Constant Contact this year. I know Megan's used it before, but I don't know I think she just tested it out. I don't know if she kept using it. Again, we want to pay attention to. I know Megan uses Facebook, so email marketing starts to become a shiny object for her, right? It's I'm going to try this new thing, hope this works, when you actually have something that is working. We just need to fine tune it. I mean, it sounds like both of you have something that's working. We just need to maybe utilize it better. So even if you put on your calendar, follow up with this person, you email back and forth for a little bit, you get off the Zoom call and you're like, okay, it's a tax professional. We had a great conversation, but maybe they didn't email you back that week. Maybe we want to email back 3 weeks out or a month out, 6 weeks out. Maybe we just want to set a schedule for how often we're going to follow up with these people that we're talking to, because those conversations then make it, I've met you face to face. It's so much better than a cold email, because I think the rates on like a cold email, Megan, are like 1% open rate.
2%.
And that's not even like close rate, right? So
No, that's just literally opening the email.
so the volume there is high, but when you have a networking connection, the volume's actually going to be a lot higher. I don't know what the rate is, but it's that connection and following up. So my only suggestion would be to create a plan around it. If you have them on an email list, or this week I have a stack of business cards I need to go add to my list and follow up. So I know my husband connected with a couple of people yesterday and he sent them all emails. We will then go follow up probably at the new year. So I do 2 to 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 months, 2 to 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 9 months. I have it written down. All the way out to like 24 months. And then at that point, into the second year, I start evaluating, do I need to take them out of my communication? Or are they just not going to talk to me?
I also take the business, when I get business cards from business owners, and try to find them on Facebook or whatever social media platform, like Instagram. You said Instagram was working for you, and LinkedIn. So maybe try to find them on there as well. That way, when you're making your posts, even if maybe they don't need a bookkeeper right now, but 6 months down the road, and then like Sherry said, the odds of them opening the email is going to be even more because they know your name, they know your business name and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's no longer just a spam email. It's a
right
email. For example, so with network marketing, I actually really I like talking to people. I had someone I met almost a year ago through a networking event or a networking group Debbie's even a part of. I don't attend very often anymore. They tagged me because they know that I do QuickBooks. They tagged me.
Like never.
I don't ever. The timing is really awful at night with kids and getting them. to
Oh, I
bed
get it.
and stuff, so I don't. But yeah, I should probably like cancel that membership. But anyway, someone
There you
No,
go with
'cause
your
I like it. I
cutting
like it
costs.
when he says your name.
Yeah, he announces me even though I'm not there. It's awesome.
funny.
But with that, like, you know, they know that I specialize in QuickBooks. So them remembering that, and by sending them emails, you're staying top of mind, even if they're not using them. When they hear someone complaining about QuickBooks, they're going to know to refer to Jen or Debbie, in that. So that's
Yep.
why so it's not cold email marketing that you normally hear of. It's staying connected with your network and building those relationships via the benefit of email. And if you can then get them on another one-to-one, especially using BNI, you know, how many, so you had a one-to-one, now you've email followed up, maybe it's time to do another one-to-one with them if that one-to-one went well. Maybe you never want to have a one-on-one with them again, and you're not going to do that. But if it's someone you want to meet with again, put them on the calendar. Do not laugh at me. I didn't say 1-2-1. Well, I'm just kidding. But that's something to do. Also, so another marketing thing with that is meeting with the AICPA group in your area. They will host, so it's a membership group for CPAs. Every state has one. So if it's close to you, I would go make a connection with them. That way you can start attending those networking events. So Debbie.
That's a good idea. Sherry, that's a really good idea.
So Debbie, yours is in Phoenix. When? I don't remember. I keep forgetting where you're at.
Huh?
But,
What?
We're at I-17 in Peoria area.
yeah. So yours, Debbie, yours is down in Tempe, right
Okay.
off 202, and it's kind of down by it's down by Tempe, the lake.
Okay. Could
But,
you put the acronym in the chat,
Oh
please?
yeah, sorry.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I did join a new Southwest Valley Chamber, and they're extremely active in the community. So I'm excited to start the new year with them. So to see where this goes. She's very vibrant and kind of one of them happy people.
Yep. So AICPA is another good one for marketing. Sarah, you just joined. A couple of you just joined. What do you guys do anything besides Facebook or social media for networking? We are talking about different ways to grow your business.
Hi.
Hey,
Good morning.
Good morning. So I became a member of my Chamber of Commerce in my city. So that's helped. And then there's this business networking group that I found that's the second Tuesday or Wednesday of every month. And so I go to that, and then that's how I meet I have to do the in-person networking because that's where I'm getting a lot of if people know me from previous experience, then they're more apt to hearing, what I'm doing now. But just cold messaging on Facebook, I don't cold message because I've come from an industry where that's all they taught you to do. And it's not who I am as a person, but some people that's totally fine. I just have to do what's like true and authentic for me.
absolutely. So Sarah, with networking, do you have a schedule in which you follow up with people or reconnect with people you've met with before?
I do. So a lot of the people that I meet on the in-person networking group, I do see every month, but I follow up I find them on LinkedIn actually, and then we follow up that way.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Or we become friends on Facebook, and then they see my stuff and I see their stuff type thing. And then just doing touch bases. I don't really talk business yet, unless they bring it up, because I'm just trying to learn them and like their business before I just offer value, but not bookkeeping stuff. Does that make sense?
Yep, 100%. And I do think people turn to bookkeepers for more than just bookkeeping, right? I get asked tax stuff, marketing.
Do I need an LLC?
I got asked for cost per unit yesterday by a client, which I don't do CFO for. So
I want to ask you guys, a question. Do you all, are you friends with your clients on Facebook?
No,
I'm friends with some, but not all of them. But that's where I've built majority of my business. So that's kind of how I've made some of those connections.
yeah, I think it depends on the client.
Well,
I don't go seek out my clients if they didn't find me.
Right,
No,
exactly.
I haven't sought any of them out. They have sought me out and sent me friends requests. And, at first I was like, okay, that's probably okay. But when you've asked a client repeatedly, I mean, I'm still in a cleanup 4 months after we started, because every time I turn around, these guys are going out of town somewhere. They're taking a vacation. And I've gotten to the point now to where I'm ready to say, you know what, y'all need to go someplace else.
I will say
I mean, I got told last week, I got told last week, we're going to have a slow week next week. They're photographers. We're going to have a slow week next week. We'll get those statements to you. I'm still working on 2021. Okay. And yesterday they posted that they were in the Big Bend, which some of y'all might not know where that is, but it's about 700 miles west of where we live.
So, I think with that, like, I have a client who I met at a networking group. We're friends on Facebook. He follows my business page. I think he just follows my business page. So he sees all of my posts. He has been asking me to call him like week after week. I keep calling him. He keeps not answering. But he likes all of my business posts. Like, we still kind of in chat. You're not their boss. You're a service provider. You can only move at the pace they let you move. And I typically tell clients, I move as quickly as you let me. I have a client who we're in the process of doing a 5-figure cleanup for.
Please stop.
He's not
Right.
at all. But he was the one stressed out about getting it done. So I'm not going to stress about it anymore. I did it first because I was like, oh, we need to make sure we're, moving. Yeah, Debbie, he's a creeper. I'm just kidding. He creeps on my stuff. But
Well,
CPA,
I just,
it's fun, but
everything else is more important than getting stuff to me and being able to see what they're doing on almost on a daily basis. Because they post a lot. And they're excellent photographers, don't get me wrong. But
there's a setting you can hide their stuff from you so you don't see their post.
Yeah,
So
if that's frustrating you, then I would. But I mean, honestly, to most business owners, like, we think bookkeeping is important. We know like they have to have it and they need everything to be in order, but like, it's not a top priority to them right now. So when the IRS sends them a letter or something, then it's gonna be like, oh crap, now I need to get you everything you need or whatever. But it's just not like a pain point right this moment necessarily. And unfortunately, a lot of business owners kind of feel that way until they have to have it,
And then at that
That's
point,
true.
it's a rush fee if they're giving you
but then
12 months to do it.
Exactly.
You charge them a rush fee.
Yep.
Then comes the conversation that your emergency is not mine, right?
Yep. Yep.
Right. Oh my God.
Jen says she uses the task feature in Lucio, and her clients respond really well to that. And I think it's just figuring out what works for your clients. I use Lucio. I had a client never respond to it. I switched him to Keeper. He responds weekly now. It's glorious. I don't know what shifted.
You switched to what?
Keeper.
You switched to what?
Keeper. I just put it in the chat, but it's called.
Oh, okay.
But Lisio works great too, or scheduling reminders for them. In Google works great too. You can take what's in Google now and schedule those out or schedule emails to go out ahead of time. So if you know that you need statements every month, you can just simply schedule an email if you're looking for something free or inexpensive. If you're already paying for the
I had one hit me. I had one hit me with this on Tuesday. She has to send me her statements, and she feels like she deserves a discount on the services because she has to do work. And I was like, I have other clients that I have to do this with as well. You know, you're not the only one. That blew my mind. Of course, she's getting a rate increase and she's squawking about it. So I don't know if she's going to sign or not. I really don't care at this point.
Teach her how to do the funky chicken, Gwen.
Well, you know, she's not focused on her business. This is the one that's been going down by the nose for the last year, really. And she's been busy, thank goodness, but she drug her feet on getting statements to me, getting gross sales figures to me, and now W-9s. And so now here we are at the end of the year and she's slammed. Hey, I've been asking for this stuff since October. And you drug your feet, waited to the last minute. Here we are, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, the expecting a discount because she has work to do.
You can respond simply with,
Anyway.
I'm not a mind reader, so help me help you type phrases.
Yeah.
Right, so, oh, Tasha joined. Tasha, do you do anything besides in-person networking or Facebook, social media?
I did some in-person networking and I actually loved it. It just isn't a great fit for this time of life. I've got 2 little ones and it's just chaos right now. So social media has been my most successful form of marketing. I feel like a lot of people, most of my clients are people that I know, and they've been people who like just happened upon my posts when they like logged on Facebook and they're like, oh, I need a bookkeeper. And I just see that you are one. And so then they schedule a call, and it's something that it wasn't a priority for me for a while. And I know I'm not good at, so I ended up just outsourcing it or using like a company that gives you templates of social media post templates and then customizing them. But it's been, yeah, my favorite.
So you said you love in-person networking. Have you thought about combining the two by doing like group lives or going live on Facebook and having letting people join and doing like a call, kind of like this, but for your own business?
Yeah, it gives me a lot of anxiety and I just know it's not my strength. And so if I'm in person, oh, it's okay, Molly. When it's, I don't know, and there's just something about the like computer screen and knowing I've got like kids that are gonna bust into the room, and it just, I don't know, it stresses me out. I've thought about it, but I'm like, I'm okay with the like pace that things are happening with just regular Facebook
But
marketing.
why not like this? Just let them be there instead of bustling into the room. Just let them be there because they are who you are, right?
Yeah, and you could do it like mom business owners or something, like, and like make that known, like, hey, bring your kids. Let's just hang out and chat, you know?
Yeah, kids are welcome.
Yeah, make it real.
You could do a mom's group for like mom entrepreneurs and make it kid friendly, which I don't know if I've seen one, but you can say, you know, kids welcome, because you have the ability to mute, right? Actually, that's a really good idea, Tasha. I'm not gonna do it, but that's a really good idea. Because other moms, you know, I'm in this situation, other moms in this group even are in the situation, and you know how to speak to that, and you can just encourage them to mute and be there. Because being there is going to help them grow their business, you know, showing up to their business is going to help them show up to in general. Then you can offer kind of advisory, just like business development type calls. And then when they need a bookkeeper because they can't answer some of the questions you're asking, you would be that go-to, but you're just establishing credibility. And then in that group, you're going to do your post, but it's going to be kind of in live form. So just pick a day or once a month, even if it's just once a month, kind of in-person networking, coffee hour or something like that for the moms. And then when you name the group, you would name the group something like something searchable for moms who are looking for support in business. And then you're going to sit there like that and show up and say kids are welcome. 100%. Like there was a podcast, that's what I was going. There's a podcast I was listening to, and it's a husband and wife. They have young kids, and one of the kids came in or made noise or whatever in the background. I think they were kind of baby too. And the dad said very like wisely, the podcast exists for the people, not the people for the podcast. Meaning their life is going to go on. They're going to try to keep the kids quiet, but they're not going to retape the podcast or cut that out because that's their life. I've even had people comment on my business because I have kids and I'm doing it. And I'm creating boundaries that protect my kids. I'm not just, here's a tablet, go play. Now, granted, there's times for that. But giving yourself permission to have a business the way you want. I've hauled all 3 of my kids to coffee shops to meet with people before, which I tested. I'm not doing anymore. It didn't feel worth the effort to do that. And I don't think business came from that. So, but I did haul them around yesterday to go meet with people, or give this week to talk to people in person, but they were asleep in the car. And my husband was sleeping. So yeah, why not give mom business owners permission to do what you're doing? And then so seriously, Megan talks about mom groups all the time. I joined a mom group here in Albuquerque based on her feedback. It's owned by an old male realtor. It is the creepiest group ever. And
That's
the
messed
moms
up.
posted it. They'll post private stuff that is like really for moms group, like mom groups and all of this stuff. And I'm like, this is owned by, I'm calling him a creepy male really. He posts his realtor stuff to this mom group, and all these moms are posting mom help in this, and it's a really active group. And I'm like, this is weird. This is really weird. So don't do
that passes way over the creeper line, way over.
That's not how to do mom groups. But you're a mom with a kid, so you can do a mom group. Hey guys, Y'all can
And
help.
remember too, the babies won't always be in that season, right? They are only little once, and then it changes. I mean, I even have, mine are not little by any stretch of the imagination, but even as young adults, they'll still bust in, and I'm like holding my finger up on my lip, shh, and nope, they got to say what they got to say.
That is true.
Kids though, silly kids.
Oh my gosh, how sweet.
They're so cute.
We're currently on the bathroom floor, so this is
Sometimes that's the best place to be.
I have actually sat in the bathroom before on a call with my kids in the bath because I couldn't entertain them in any other form. So I threw those like ball pit balls. I tossed them in the water and let them. I just had the two at that time. I think I was pregnant with my third. I sat them in the bathtub while they were playing and took a call because I could obviously like turn off my video and I was right there with them. But I did do a call like that once. I don't think it was a client call. I forget what it was, but some call I felt important enough to take.
super mom.
But I'm also no. But thank you. I also think with having young kids, when you first start your business, it's so easy to say yes to all these calls, and it's really hard to filter out, is it a sales call? Is it a helpful call? I say no to a lot of calls now, even with coaching businesses for success. We've gotten quite a few like sales calls or like, how can our business help other businesses? And I'm like, I'm out. I'm sorry. Like, I'm all for helping other businesses or coaches, but I'm like, it really has to be a partnership. The intent really has to be a partnership for me to really want to be on the call. Because then it just feels like it's taking time away from my family. And even then I've gotten better at saying no to scheduling outside of my time blocks that I've blocked off for calls. Which can be hard to do, but because you feel like, oh, I need the client, I need to say yes. If they can't respect your calendar, they're probably not worth having. Or they're not going to sign, or they're going to ghost you, and then you're going to be like, why did I say yes? And so respect yourself, your business will follow. I say that for anyone else listening live too. Not just pick on Tasha. Okay, so in-person networking seems to be a hit here today. I was going to throw out other ideas if you are looking to grow like traffic to a website or traffic to your page or something like that. Guest blogging does work. Guest appearing on YouTube or podcast or starting your own. All are things that can work. We just want to pay attention to the number of things we try and to what extent. If we're going to try it, let's like really commit to trying it and giving it a good go and having it a piece of your marketing plan that actually works for you. And then, in a year, if it's not working, or if there are some ways to know if YouTube or podcast are working before you get to a year, but you also want to give it a chance to work, where you might spend 6 months doing a channel well and learning all about YouTube or podcasting. And then at that point, knowing if it's working or not. Those are good ways. I like YouTube. I do think YouTube works. I don't have the time to commit to it. And I'm really bad at trying to improv to YouTube. So it keeps appearing back on my list and then coming off my list, coming back on my list if I really want to do that. So not everything can happen, but so yeah, there's lots of ways to market. I don't want anyone listening to this live to feel like Facebook is the only way to market your business. Was kind of my goal today. Megan, what else do you have? Any other?
So I do a lot of like with my daughter's events and stuff, like whether it's sponsoring the events or and stuff like that. And then we have a group that does a lot of vendor events around here. So they always let you go like hang a sign or whatever. So I've had a banner made and I always hang it there. But yeah, so sponsoring and I've sponsored other people's kids like dance and baseball and stuff like that whenever it comes around, just to have like my name on stuff and just kind of getting it out there. So, and then also like getting shirts made, so when you're in public or like when I'm at the games and stuff, I can have my business name on while I'm there.
That brings up another one. I was talking to the marketing guy in my BNI in Phoenix, and the Small Business Expo was going to be in the fall. And this was right before we decided to actually move or pull the trigger on moving. And I was going to go. He suggested, he agreed rather, that going to a trade show is actually a good ROI on the money. However, it's a little more costly because you have to get in and set up a booth. The booth part can be inexpensive, but sometimes the ticket to set up a booth, depending on how you set up, it is good. But you're going to be collecting business cards from people, creating contacts, and so you would want to have a plan in place to follow up with all of those contacts. Trade shows also give you like a directory of everyone who registered, so that you can email them and follow up, announce that you're there, connect with them, and then follow up with them after the trade show or event. So if you're targeting contractors, things like that, finding a contractor expo. There's SEMA, which is like a big car expo.
It's awesome.
My husband wants to set up a booth there, but we weren't able to make those things happen this year. With
It is so cool.
So things like that. So Debbie, you can go and make it a business trip.
Yeah, Vegas, here we come, baby.
So there's a lot of sometimes you'll have to kind of evaluate your target audience and where there might be at some of those trade shows or events, but even smaller city event shows are good. We had someone not too long ago walk around flea market, like a farmer's market, and talk to everyone. I've done that before. That's a great way to make connections. She did land a client. Mine was a really small farmer's market.
I took a lease to a farmer's market,
It was,
and I made her pass out her business card to people.
Why didn't you? Yeah.
No, it's fine because I go all the time. So we've met up a couple times now at farmers markets.
She was who I was thinking of. I think she made a connection from one of those.
Yeah, was it the lady who owns a farm here and she makes dog treats?
And they're willing to talk to you because talking at farmers markets, is going to help how they make connections and partnerships themselves and make sales and things like that. And that's an inexpensive way to, because talking to them there is also a good way to get connected to other events or vendor fairs or things like that. You could set up a booth with something, or just sponsor the vendor event or things like that, like Megan was saying. So, but if you haven't thought of any of those, trying to help you think outside of the box. Facebook is not the end all be all to grow a business, especially if you're thinking, let's put, we have a few more minutes, so let's put some numbers behind it. Who do I think has the biggest monetary goal to their business. I have no clue. Let me pull up my calculator. Let's say you wanted a $250,000 business. Average rate, Megan, for bookkeeping, 500. Medium. So it's a
Yeah.
good round number, I guess. So if you wanted a $250,000 business, that's like 40 clients at 500. If you wanted half of that, that's 20 clients. In-person networking with like real businesses, and not just the businesses trying to sell you stuff. So some in-person networking is just buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. That's not, but really getting those partnerships. If 40 starts to not feel like that many when you're talking to real human beings, right? 20 does not feel like that many when you're talking to real human beings. Plus, if they have cleanup, you might not even need 20 in 1 year to hit 6 figures, right? If they come with cleanup and things like that. So, and even right now, people still need a full year of cleanup going into tax season. So just because it's December doesn't mean cleanups are out. Yeah, but it cuts down on the number of people you have to talk to, because with in-person, because you can also follow up with them because you get their contact information and they're more likely to open. So I actually love the fact that most of you guys are doing in-person networking. I think it's a great way to really make connections. So, yeah. Any other thoughts or questions?
Jamie had a question on Facebook. What do you mentors recommend for email marketing newsletter programs, MailChimp, Constant Contact, with the regards to fees and costs?
So I've used MailChimp. It was pretty easy to set up, but not. However, with MailChimp, you cannot, if I get a business letter, I can't actually I can email them via MailChimp, but I can't actually add them to my newsletter. They physically have to subscribe to be automated like that. So I'm in the process of switching over to Constant Contact, because I can import my contacts a little bit better. So cost though, right now, Constant Contact, it's like $10 a month for a website and up to 500 contacts. Once you go over, it's like 35. So it's cheaper than MailChimp at this point. But again, I haven't really tested it. I am in the process of testing it. So
Yeah. I had used it in the past and I really liked it, but email marketing just wasn't my thing. We were paying for Facebook ads, and the Facebook ads were leading them to Constant Contact, and then letters were going out from there, and I just wasn't getting any response from it. Was just the reason I quit. But the program itself is great because you can see who opens it, how long did they spend in the email, did they come back a second time and open it, like you can see all that information. So
yeah. So I think if you're in-person networking and building a list that you just want to stay in contact with, even if you're not doing Facebook ads, I think that would be it's a pretty affordable way to do that, because you can automatically send emails out to them if you add them, even if you don't want to do. So I'm switching. So some more context around why I'm switching is I'm wanting to get rid of my website and ClickFunnels. And so if you're in the paid program, yesterday I was talking about I'm just personally trying to cut expenses because I've tested a lot of things and that's added up, and I'm like, let's streamline this again. So Constant Contacts is replacing my website, my lead page, and my email list. So I'm combining all three of those into it. And for $10 a month, that's pretty nice. So
I didn't realize you could build a website through it.
yeah, do you want to see mine? I just got mine. So I
How
changed
much is it again?
$10 a month.
Holy cow, that's great.
It's this one. So Megan, I changed it because I tried 3 pages, which is like 14, no, it's like $45 a month, but it doesn't connect seamlessly. I had to then connect it to MailChimp. So now then I was paying 45 plus the MailChimp of like 15, $16 a month. And I was like, I don't want to do that. So
This looks awesome.
my website. I did it. So
It looks good.
but then if you go to get started, I connected it to Stripe. So now I just have the Stripe payment processor. So just like
Awesome.
ClickFunnels does, but it's not a funnel. Right. So I don't know. I spend too much time on shiny objects.
No, but it looks really good. And that and ClickFunnels is $100 a month almost. So
Yeah, so they called me. So they also have marketing support. They will get on a phone with you, even at $10 a month. And he called me afterwards, and I was like, why are you calling me? Well, anyway, I found out they create a newsletter for you, a template. They created something else for me that's in my drafts for it. But they help troubleshoot. And you can also pay them to do other stuff, SEO and stuff like that. But if you were wanting to do ads, you could do it through here. But the troubleshooting was nice. Knowing that I could pick up the phone and just talk to them, whereas like Lead Pages was email only. So there was something else with Constant Contact that I liked, but I forget what it was. I don't know. So I had 2 calls where they like actually got in and helped. They'll help you upload, import your contacts to it. So now I'm not an SEO or website designer, so I cannot tell you if this will convert. So if you're looking at copying my website, feel free. I can't tell you that it will do anything other than it looks pretty to me. I'm not a marketing expert, so
Very, very nice and clean.
I'm trying to break away from the Steffi CPA look. I also created my banner on Facebook last night in the spirit of a new website. With a new cover letter.
oh, I love it.
So I'm all about color over here now. I've gotten more bold as I go. So
That's much more eye-catching.
I used to be like my first website. Actually, I could show it to you guys. Was like stuffy CPA look. It was awful. Well, I'll show you the branding of it. I can't show you the. Well, the first one I had made for me, kind of had made for me. I can't show you that one, but I can show you this one that I attempted to make at first. So this was all of my branding at that point. So it was tan, blue, and white. So I got rid of the tan and replaced it with yellow. So everything, oh, this was my first logo because I was targeting real estate. I had this real estate stack, which was ugly and didn't make sense. So shiny object syndrome. That's why I tell you guys not to do it, because I do it all the time. So then
School uniform looking, Debbie said.
yeah. It was very, so now I have not school uniform looking. All the color. And then, but I do like having the prices, so, and I'm gonna have to get off, I have a call at 10, but, so I still have like my add-ons, they could schedule a call for discovery call, custom pricing, and then just the basic 3. And my husband told me to change these again. So I gotta go back in and change the links, but that will take a hot second, so. But then it just takes them to a Stripe checkout like we do for CD4S. Weird. So, but I gotta update that. So I don't expect them to actually check out on the website because it's not like a thing, but that way they can see the prices. I like having them be able to see prices. I've had that question a couple of times by other marketing people. Why do you have your prices on the website? I'm like, you're either able to afford it or you're not, and it cuts down on like the number of calls, that wasted calls of, oh, I didn't know it was that much. So I don't mind showing them, but I'm still sending them to the payment link, or I can enter on the backside of Stripe. You can enter their information via the phone. So anyway, if you guys have any questions as you're thinking through your 2023 marketing plan, feel free to post in the group and let us know. If you tag Megan or I in the comment below your post, we're more likely to see it. Sometimes things get buried. I also turn my phone off on the weekends, so if it's on the weekend, I'll look at it on Monday. So just a heads up. Anything else, Megan?
Nope, I think that is all.
You guys have a very Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Megan.
Bye.
Oh, Bonnie, where'd you come from?
Hey, she's sneaky.
I'm hiding.
Wow, she just came out and she's just oh, the
Yeah.
woods. Oh my God. Hi.
I listened at one point
Very-
on Facebook
very-
because I was supposed to have a call at 11:30 and then they never called. And then I was like, oh, I wonder if they're still on. So I jumped on. Not long
And she's
ago.
over there.
Oh, God.
She's over there taking notes to stinger us later.
I'll keep you guys on your toes.
Woo-hoo.
Yes.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, you
Okay.
guys too. See ya.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.